Let me introduce myself. So I'm Sudeep Kargi. Today we are presenting on Porter's diamond theory. So yesterday our friends missed this part. So today we are covering on this too. So anyone is familiar with this face? Is anyone familiar with this face? We might be familiar with his name. He is Michael Porter. He is known for his theories. He is a professor at Harvard Business School. So he has done various research and he has also contributed on various theories. So they are listed below. They are worldwide popular, and among these theories, today we are presenting on theory of national competitive advantage, which is also called as Porter's diamond model. So before getting into the conclusion, let's start from its research and the beginning process. So this theory was done by Porter and his teammate. So altogether 10 countries where they were collected from data from 100 companies from 10 countries in 1990 AD. So the main objective of this research method and of trying to do the research and trying to have the finding was to find out why certain nations excel in certain industries, why certain nations excel in certain products. Like if we talk about now 21st century, like some of the products are associated with some of the countries, right? So if we talk about automobiles, the first country that come in our mind is Japan, right? If we talk about engineering, we always say Germany. If we talk about Italy, we always appreciate its architecture, right? So what is the reason of those associations and conditionings between a product and the country, or a country and a product? So by analyzing this, by conducting the research from 10 countries and 100 companies, it was found that 4 attributes were key elements present in all the companies. So these were the 4 elements, which were factor conditions, demand conditions, relating and supporting industries, and firm's strategy, structure, and rivalry. So these are the factors that were presented in all the companies. So let's deep down inside the factors. So one was factor conditions. So the factor conditions includes all the factors, means of production, which is land, which is labor, which is capital, and natural resources. So what was found was all the countries which were successful in certain industries has access to those resources. So they had a competitive edge, like they have the one step ahead and they are further than other countries, right? If we talk about demand conditions, it had high domestic demand at the first, which also stimulated them for further innovation, right? So it is also one of the important factor, because if there is high demand, or if there is not high demand, but let's say it was customer oriented, right? So if it was customer oriented, it would take the feedback of the consumers and have and tell us to that garne, it just improve on the feedbacks, right? Not just take the feedback and just throw in the dustbin, right? So what another attribute that it found was relating and supporting industries. Like a company has its all the ownership there. Like sometimes a company, yes, even if it does gives its 100%, it might not be successful because there are other internal as well as external factors. So if we talk about other industries, the first thing can be a suppliers. A suppliers is outside of the company, but it also creates a value, right? So what it was found that the 100 of companies that research was done, they had good suppliers which supplied them quality resources, raw materials. So if we talk about other such industries, that can be distributors, which helps to create a strong and a long distribution channel, right? If we talk about firm, strategy, structure, and rivalry, this is an interesting one because it includes all the internal and external factors, like the planning, how the management is done, how the organizing part is handled. Even that matters the most. Even the rivalry, sometimes, yeah, monopoly can be a good cause for the nations to excel in the business, but sometimes even rivalry and the competition can be a good way, because healthy competition pushes you to innovate yourself, right? So all of these findings were just one thing, that these all factors help to create the competitive edge, and it just helps to have that upper edge and excel in the business. So these were the 4 factors, and furthermore, other 2 factors were invented and it was founded. So that will be explained by our Mandeep Parajuli.
Firstly, talking about government. Government includes liberalization policies, privatization policies, trade policies, and government policies. Privatization means the process of transferring ownership from government to private sector, whereas liberalization means listening and less restricting the rules and regulation that is imposed by the government towards the private firm. These both factors positively and negatively affects the competitive advantage of the business. In the same way, there are different type of trade policies like reducing subsidized tax rates, etc., that helps in doing the business in competitive advantage. Now next is chance. Chance is any uncertain event that may occur while conducting any type of business. Chance includes natural disasters, economic crisis, luck, and consumer taste and preference. Consumer taste and natural, for example, in Nepal, earthquake took place. In the same way, there was economic crisis, which adversely affect the different specific industries of Nepal. In the same way, technology also affect the specific industries in Nepal. Like there may be server issues, etc., which may affect the competitive advantage of any specific industries. Thank you.
Now I'm going to explain about some assumptions. First one is free market operations. Porter's diamond theories assumes that business operates in a free market environment. And next one is interdependent factor of production. The theories assumes that the 4 factors of production are interdependent and mutually reinforced. Next one is the competitive advantage of a nation is based on the competitive advantage of its firm. The theories assumes that the country's firms can improve their competitive advantage through investment in research and development, infrastructure and technology, and education and training. Next one is the theory assumes that the competitive advantage of a nation is sustainable over time. The theory assumes that countries, government, and chance event can also influence the competitive advantage. Last one is the theory assumes that the competitive advantage of a nation is based on the quality of a domestic factor of production rather than the quantity or cost. Thank you. Now I would like to call my team member Bimal Sarma.
Good afternoon everyone, it's me Bimal Sharma. Today I am going to talk about the criticism of Porter's diamond theory. This theory was criticized by John Gunnick. We all know he is the propounder of eclectic paradigm theory of foreign direct investment. He criticized that this theory is reformed and reorganized form of others theory, good jobs. It means that this theory was only the reorganized and reform of other theories, that previous theories of good jobs only. Then next is it is too simplistic. It means that this theory has just talked about 4 attributes, that is factor conditions, and next is strategy and rivalry, and next is supporting industries, and next is demand condition of a domestic country. But this theory cannot be implemented in large scale industries and dynamic industries. Just like this theory ignores other factors, just like technological factors, demographic factors, socio-cultural factors, and so on. And next is it ignores service-based industries. It is just focused on manufacturing industries. Next is it ignores the role of MNCs, which is the cooperation between developed countries and developing countries. And lastly, not strong empirical evidence. It means that this theory is based on personal feelings and personal evidence, and the evidence are not fully reliable. Thank you. Now I'd like to call Pawan Guru.
Nepal is rich in natural resources such as mountains, natural heritage, and old history. This also provides a unique advantage for Nepal to be an attractive tourist destination. And another factor is demand conditioning. In Nepal, the local tourism is growing day by day. Now people of Nepal have started exploring their own nations. This also contribute to increase the competitive advantage in tourism sector. The demand conditioning is a very crucial for the development of tourism industry in Nepal. It also helps in development and growth of the infrastructure that creates the competitive advantage in tourism sector. And another factor is relating and supporting industry. In Nepal, the relating and supporting industries such as hotel industry, transportation industry, tour and travel agencies, and other handicrafts helps to increase the experience of tourists in Nepal. The development and collaboration among this industry helps to increase the competitive advantage of the tourism industry in Nepal. And another factor is strategy and rivalry. The rivalry among the above mentioned industries such as hotel industry, transportation helps to creates and drives the new innovation and ideas that helps to makes the better experience of tourists who comes to Nepal. And by analyzing tourism industry from the Porter's dimension theory, we can see that the factors that are natural resources, mountains, local demands collectively contributes to the competitive advantage of the Nepal. Thank you, sir.